She is highly likable. I think that lends itself to her popularity is she comes across as somebody that's really just respectful, likable. There's other players out there that just don't come across that way.
Nobody expected it. Not the coaches, not the fans, and definitely not the guys guarding her. In a quiet Iowa gym with no cameras rolling and no arena lights flashing, Caitlin Clark did the unthinkable. Down 15 points, 2 minutes on the clock, and then it happened.
Caitlin Clark got asked about this by David Letterman.
We have a practice team that's just all guys. I think we were down 15. So we make a couple threes. We cut it to 10, maybe, I don't even know.
Now when you say we make a couple of threes, was it you or was everybody making threes?
It was me, but the points went to the Iowa Hawkeyes. So I think I had 22 points in 2 minutes was the moral of the story.
I'm sorry.
She went on a scoring rampage that stunned everyone in the building, including herself. 22 points in 2 minutes against a men's team. This wasn't a scripted commercial or a viral marketing stunt. This was real, raw, and unforgettable.
Yes, I understand this is a men's practice squad. I get that. I'm sorry, I don't know a world where I'm going to exactly poo-poo 22 points in 2 minutes.
What started as a closed-door scrimmage turned into basketball legend. A moment so wild, so impossible, even David Letterman had to double-check if it actually happened. But it did.
Yes, I understand this is a men's practice squad. I get that. I'm sorry, I don't know a world where I'm going to exactly poo-poo 22 points in 2 minutes.
And now the story's out. Buckle up, because this isn't just about scoring. It's about a generational talent silencing critics, breaking barriers, and reminding the world that when Caitlin Clark steps on the court, anything can happen.
Number 1 in your heart, Caitlin Elizabeth Clark.
Before the world knew her name, before she shattered college records and took the WNBA by storm, Caitlin Clark was already quietly rewriting basketball history inside a practice gym at the University of Iowa.
We had a high school girls basketball team there that day. So we had a little audience and we were up in our practice gym and they were jumping out of their chairs going crazy. Usually I never react when something like I hit a big shot or I do, but never in a shocked way. After my 5th 3 in a row in a minute, I was oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. I was running around and we ended up winning and our boy practice players didn't hear the end of it. They still don't. I still love to bring it up to them. We talk a lot of crap, so.
No national broadcast, no roaring crowd, just hardwood, a scoreboard, and a group of male players from Iowa's practice squad who were about to witness something they'd never forget. This wasn't some casual scrimmage. It was an intense, competitive session where Iowa's women's team routinely trained against men to simulate physical matchups.
The practice session has taken on near mythological proportions in the 5 years since it was played in Iowa City. ESPN's Wright Thompson wrote about it for a March 2024 profile of Clark talking to teammates, coaches, and student managers who witnessed the performance.
These guys weren't pros, but they were athletic, skilled, and there to push the women's team hard. On that particular day, Caitlin and her squad found themselves down by 15 points with only 2 minutes left on the clock. Most players would have mentally checked out, accepted the loss, and moved on. But Caitlin, she flipped a switch.
Caitlin Clark's team was down by 15 when she began knocking down three-pointers.
She caught the ball at the top of the key and let it fly from deep. Nothing but net. The gym didn't go silent. It erupted. High school girls sitting in the bleachers for a visit jumped out of their seats.
I think the key is this squad was down by 15 to these guys, and they came back and won it.
Before anyone could process it, Caitlin had the ball again, this time pulling from near the logo. Bang. Another three, then another, and another. 5, 6, 7 shots, all from beyond the arc, and she didn't miss. Within 2 minutes, she had racked up 22 points, turning what should have been a blowout loss into a jaw-dropping comeback win. But what made it unforgettable wasn't just the points. It was the way she scored them.
Caitlin Clark is the GOAT!
She signed my jersey! So happy, I'm crying. I'm so happy. This is the best day ever.
Caitlin Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
I love watching her score and just everything about her.
They went the extra mile just to watch her play here.
This is great news for women's basketball, period.
She moved off the ball like a seasoned pro, read the defense, and hit shots from NBA range with men in her face trying to stop her. And they couldn't. The more they pressured her, the deeper she pulled. Every time she rose to shoot, the room held its breath. And every time she delivered. Caitlin herself was stunned. She rarely reacts emotionally during games. But even she started smiling, running around the gym in disbelief after her 5th straight 3. The men guarding her were in shock. The girls in the stands were screaming. It wasn't just a scrimmage anymore. It was a moment, the kind that lives forever in sports folklore.
She just brings so much passion to the game, and look at all these people that just want to come and see her.
Years later, Caitlin laughed about it on David Letterman's show, admitting the practice guys still haven't heard the end of it. And they shouldn't, because that day wasn't about luck or hype. It was about pure skill. It was about a player who could take over any game, under any circumstance, against anyone. That was the moment people inside the program realized. Caitlin Clark wasn't just special, she was historic.
Caitlin Clark's already considerable legend continues to grow. Thanks to David Letterman and Netflix, the WNBA star appeared on the latest episode of Letterman's program, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
As word of the scrimmage began to trickle out beyond Iowa's campus, it sounded almost too incredible to believe. Some called it an exaggeration. Others dismissed it entirely. Just another urban legend passed around locker rooms. But then the footage surfaced, and everything changed. Clips from the practice began circulating online, slowly at first, then like wildfire. People who had been in the gym that day, coaches, teammates, student managers, even the high school girls in the stands, backed it up. ESPN's Wright Thompson profiled the moment in a deep dive, confirming the details. This wasn't myth, it was real. And suddenly, a story that had lived in whispers was now front and center on sports shows, debate panels, and social media timelines.
He was asked about Caitlin Clark.
Coach Krzyzewski, listen to what he said.
Yeah, well, she's terrific. And it'd be easy to build something on her because she's the best thing she does is pass. She's a magical passer and she has a great feel for the game. So, I mean, what her coach did, I would have done exactly what she did. Make sure she handles the ball a lot and she'll make everybody better. And what I was amazed with at how she's handled all the defenses. And then when she got into the WNBA, some of the negativity that was out there or jealousies. And I think she's just been remarkable. She's a really good basketball player. Yeah.
Even David Letterman couldn't ignore it. On his Netflix show, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, he sat across from Caitlin Clark, stunned as she casually confirmed the tale.
Thanks to David Letterman and Netflix, the WNBA star appeared on the latest episode of Letterman's program, My Next Guest Needs No Introduction.
I had 22 points in 2 minutes, she told him, smiling. Letterman's reaction said it all. It wasn't just the points. It was the fact that she did it under pressure, against men, and treated it like just another day at the office. The internet lit up with disbelief and awe, but not everyone was ready to give her credit. That's when the critics showed up. Comment sections filled with doubt. It was just practice.
Clark went on to become the all-time leading scorer in college basketball history, men's and women's, with 3,951 points. Of course, she was the WNBA Rookie of the Year and scored over 19 points as a rookie.
Those guys weren't real athletes. It doesn't count. The usual cynicism flooded in. But here's what those critics didn't understand. Greatness doesn't care about context. The rim didn't lower. The three-point line didn't move. The defenders weren't pulling punches. In fact, the more Caitlin scored, the harder they tried to stop her. They got physical. They closed the space. They pushed her into NBA range. And it didn't matter. She kept scoring. Because Caitlin Clark isn't just a shooter. She's a competitor built for moments like that. The kind of player who doesn't back down, even when everything's stacked against her. You could have put NBA players in front of her that day, and the result might have been the same. When she gets hot, it's over. Her stroke is mechanical. Her range is unlimited. Her confidence, unshakable.
Caitlin Clark is just such a class act. She was incredible, breaking all types of records, and that's something she was certainly proud of. We saw lots of smiles on the court.
Caitlin is the face right now, and that's also good. Like, she's selling out gyms, of course. Like, why would you hate against that?
But what made the moment truly special wasn't just the scoring. It was the impact. That high school girls team who had shown up just to watch a practice, they left having witnessed something historic. They didn't see a women's player trying to keep up with the men. They saw a baller dominating the court, period. That scrimmage didn't just lift Caitlin's legacy, it shifted the mindset of everyone who saw it. It reminded young girls that greatness isn't measured by who you're playing against. It's measured by what you do when the odds say it's over. And Caitlin Clark didn't just beat those odds, she buried them from the logo. What happened in that Iowa gym wasn't a fluke. It was a glimpse into the future of basketball. Caitlin Clark's 22-point explosion against a men's practice squad wasn't just a feel-good story for women's sports. It was a masterclass in skill, poise, and competitive fire. And it laid the groundwork for everything she's become since. Because if you think that kind of performance stays confined to a practice court, you haven't been paying attention.
The event usually averages about 14 total viewers, but this year the WNBA draft won record ratings and nearly doubled its normal viewership. That added audience is largely thanks to Caitlin Clark, who went #1 overall to something called the Indiana Fever.
After that legendary scrimmage, Caitlin didn't slow down. She leveled up. She went on to dominate the college game like no one before her, men or women, 3,951 points. That's not just a record, it's history. The all-time leading scorer in NCAA basketball. Think about that. In a century of college hoops, no one, no man, no woman has scored more than Caitlin Clark. And it all traces back to moments like the one in that gym. Moments when she showed she could take over a game in seconds, no matter who stood in her way.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
Then came the WNBA. The stage got bigger, the defenders stronger, the lights brighter, and still, Caitlin thrived. As a rookie, she averaged over 19 points per game, continued to hit shots from distances that make defenders shake their heads, and instantly became the most talked about player in the league. And guess what? She wasn't just leading in scoring, she led the league in assists too. Because it's not just about putting the ball in the hoop, it's about elevating everyone around you. That's what legends do. But there's more. Beyond the court, Caitlin Clark has become something even rarer, a cultural force. Her fans are different. They show up, they travel, and they go wherever she goes. From sold-out arenas to viral highlight reels, she's brought attention, money, and legitimacy to a league that's long fought for recognition. And she's done it with grace. Humble, approachable, and fiercely competitive. Caitlin isn't just respected, she's beloved. Even NBA players and coaches have taken notice. Coach K called her a magical passer. Other pros describe her as gangster, fearless, and lights out.
What Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games, she signs autographs, she talks to little girls wearing jerseys, she smiles to the crowd, and then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean like a maniac.
In the gym, she demands the perfect pass, runs elite-level shooting drills, and holds herself to the kind of standard you usually only hear about in stories told decades later. But with Caitlin, it's happening now, in real time. We're watching the emergence of someone whose legacy is being built shot by shot, city by city, and don't forget what makes that 22-point performance so unforgettable. It wasn't televised, it wasn't planned, it wasn't a branding moment, it was raw, no hype. No cameras. Just Caitlin, a basketball, and a bunch of guys who learned the hard way that talent like hers doesn't need permission to take over. The truth is, whether it's a gym full of college guys, a roaring WNBA crowd, or millions watching on national TV, when Caitlin Clark locks in, nothing else matters. The court becomes hers. The moment becomes history. And for everyone watching, it's clear we're witnessing a once-in-a-generation player who's not just rewriting the rules, she's setting the standard for what's next.
I think that experiencing it, I love Caitlin Clark fans, but Caitlin Clark fans is different. They like C-Square shout to the gang, like different. They are very passionate people, and like they gonna ride or die. Like
listen, Caitlin Clark is a god to her friends. She does no wrong. Do not play. Do not play with her fans.
Just to say C-Square, I'm happy I'm on the right end of it.
We on the right end of the stick, baby. Because
I hate to be.
Listen,
because
they love us right now. But if we go right left, it's over for us.
Yeah. Caitlin Clark fans, I love you back. I promise. Please stop.
Yeah.
Like her fan, but like the one thing I would say about Caitlin Clark fans that I can't appreciate, they'll go anywhere she go.
Oh, they gonna travel. She gonna travel.
And
right there. Right there with her.
Like it's super dope though, because it's like they would literally go anywhere she go, and so she's built that kind of platform. I'm like, damn, that's lit.
The association, they gave us a gym that I paid for, not entirely, but they took money out of my check and I paid for it.
You better get the fucking full usage of that.
Man, I got hot tub, cold tub, weight room, full court basketball room. I walk in today, I'm on one side working out, Caitlin Clark on the other side.
Really?
I look at myself, there you go, 2 fucking legends, Patty.
Did you say what's up?
You know I say what's up, but I'm not the type to say what's up to interrupt your workout because I don't like people to interrupt mine. She can shoot the shit out of it.
And the WNBA assist leader this past year.
She can shoot the shit out the ball.
She's a great shooter.
And she's one of those workout people, you know, got to think, anytime I hit the court, I got to hit that bike. I'm older now, so I got to get on that bike and stroll for a couple 5, 6, 7 minutes. So while I'm strolling through the park, I'm looking at her shoot it. And she's one of those shooters where, if you know as a gym rat, you guys know, like, damn, bro, why you throw that pass bad? Give me the ball in my chest. I'm like, oh, she's a gangster also.
She's lighting people up.
Throw me the ball the way I want it.
What drill was it? What drill was she running?
I don't know. She was doing a 2 in a row corner wing. And if you miss, you have to go back to the next spot. And if you missed again, you have to go back to the starting spot. She had a nice drill. I'm literally still in it.
That's nice.
And she was shooting the shit out of it.
Of course she was.
Right. So she was shooting the shit out of it. And
she's the face of the league.
Agreed.
She's the face of the league. Agreed.
Just have nothing but great things to say about who she is as a person. Just so welcoming and so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know what? Us Midwesterners, we tend to just, you know, accept everybody with open arms. She was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin.
What Caitlin Clark did in that quiet Iowa gym wasn't just impressive, it was unforgettable. 22 points in 2 minutes against male defenders wasn't about proving a point. It was about showing the world what happens when talent, preparation, and fearless confidence collide. That moment, tucked away from the spotlight, became the blueprint for everything she's done since. Breaking records, drawing millions of fans, and elevating women's basketball to new heights. And while critics scramble to downplay it, the truth is impossible to ignore. Greatness doesn't need a crowd to show up. It doesn't wait for permission. It just takes the ball, rises from deep, and changes everything. Caitlin Clark is that kind of greatness. She didn't just win a scrimmage, she authored a legend. And if that was just practice, imagine what's coming next. Because with Caitlin, every game feels like a warning. Doubt her at your own risk. If you believe we're watching history in real time, drop Caitlin GOAT in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more moments that prove why Caitlin Clark is one of one. This is only the beginning.